See you put it in. Oh, you throw the whole bag in there, huh?
Bag.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Stoney Ridge Farm. We're getting some work done with the SSV75. I've got some contractors here on the farm, and you knew this day was coming. So we're out here at the Mega Shop building. This is a monstrous building. This is 112 wide by 50 foot deep. We're gonna go in there in just a second. Mega Shop building. This is the permanent farm building for the property that I knew I was gonna build from day one when we bought the place. I had no idea where I was gonna put it, but now I do know. So we've got these guys here, and they're doing work that I could do myself, I guess, but it's just too massive of a project. So we've got a huge apron going on here, and the apron is basically where you can pull up to the shop without pulling up and bringing gravel into the shop. We'll have a huge parking area right here, and we're gonna have an awesome timber frame front porch put on this. So let's just walk you around real quick, show you guys what's going on, and we're gonna get to pouring concrete here in just a little bit. Stoney Ridge Farm. Again, this is 20 feet by 112 feet with a front porch over there. We'll talk about that in a second. We have an 8-inch deep trough cut right here. It's almost like a footing, because the most sensitive part where you're driving up on here is going to be this section right here. So we wanted to put a little bit of a footing so we don't break our concrete. And we'll have relief joints cut in here. We'll show you all that in part 2 of this video. It's early morning, day 3 here at the concrete pour, and what we're doing right now is putting dye in the concrete. So this is the concrete truck, and we're doing stamped, textured, dyed concrete. This is the stuff that we're using right here, okay? There's 14 bags of this. This is called Fiesta. That's the color, and we'll put that down inside the concrete truck right here. And then once we get all that dyed, we'll come back in and we'll throw some powder on there, and I'll show you the concrete stamp textures real quick. So over here on the side of the building, there's silicone mats. These are the silicone mats. This is what the texture is gonna look like. It's basically just gonna look like a big rock, okay? This will look more natural on the farm, and that's the goal, is to have the front porch of the Mega Shop looking more natural. So this is what it's like to get textured, dyed concrete. Now there's another thing called color release, and you'll see that being used very, very soon. As they get the concrete down, it starts to harden. They take this pad, they put it on there, they tamp it down or press it down. It makes that awesome shape. So you can see from the drone footage right now, he's putting in all that powder, make sure everything's just right, and he almost sprayed me. What's this stuff called, man?
This is integral color release.
All right, color release. And then there's a powder you put down after that?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool, cool. Let's see you put it in. Oh, you throw the whole bag in there,
Whole
huh?
bag, yep. And the bag deteriorates.
Oh, okay, cool. That's awesome. Right down in there. If that's not up close and personal, guys, hit that like button. Nobody else on YouTube showing you this stuff. Nobody. Awesome. I'll tell you about cost at the end. We're kind of going to step out of their way a little bit, let them get their job done right here, guys. You can see that the concrete is not gray, it is brown, okay? It's like a tan color. It will change a little bit as it dries, which is pretty cool too. We decided on this color because it was, again, more natural. It just looked natural. When you do some kind of crazy off color, it just doesn't look very natural. We wanted it to kind of match the building and the rock formations here on the farm. Guys, we're putting rebar in right here, just a little piece to keep it from cracking off the corner right there. A little trade secret. We're getting to the point where we're about to start stamping. Now there's something that you need to know. Water, water, and more water. We got to think about water this entire time. Once this is hardened, we'll get a little bit better shot of where water is supposed to flow. There's actually a slope that goes up to that door, and once we start building it out over here, there'll be a slope that goes up to each individual garage door. This will be broomed concrete, and you'll see that in the next video. This will be stamped concrete. Now, there's a slope away from the door so water doesn't flow toward the door. There's also a slope away from the building so water flows away from the building. There's also a slope away from that gutter right there so water flows that way. And then there's another gutter over here so water flows this way. So there's a lot of thought that goes into getting water away from the building. What he's doing right here, guys, is rolling the nose over right here. You can see that way water sheds off appropriately and it has a nice finished look. Again, there's a slope from about here out this way, so water that comes from that gutter goes out and down. Eventually we'll have it plumbed out here and we'll go underground that way. So you got to wipe these down good before you put them on there?
Yes, sir. Get the release from the previous job off.
Gotcha. And the release is powder. It's in a bucket over there. And you'll throw the dust on, is that right?
Yeah, but it helps prevent the mat from sticking to the concrete and give it its contrasted color.
So they've got it all troweled out now. It's really smooth. And the next part of this is they're gonna put this redwood releasing agent on here. Redwood is the color, and I'll post down there the color of the concrete in case you guys want something exactly like this, but here's how it goes. You can see the progress here. We're all done with the stamping. Now what we do is we wait. We have to sit tight and wait for probably about 5 or 6 hours till this evening. Then this can be rinsed off. Once it's rinsed off, it has to set up for a few days. Then after it sets up for a few days, we'll go ahead and seal it off with concrete sealer. We'll post a link to the sealer that we use, and we'll also post a link to Ray's Concrete down there in the video description in case you guys want to check out Ray's Concrete if you're a local North Carolina person. But that's what we do. This is how we do stamped concrete. I think the job turned out really, really nice. Really cool. Kind of looks like red rock right now, but once we rinse all this off and get it sealed, it's going to look really unique, and it'll probably just about match up with all the stones here on the Stoney Ridge farm. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Just a little bit more cleanup and sealing this, and we'll be totally done. That's stamped concrete. Now, this job is going to cost me somewhere in the neighborhood of $14,000 just to pour this and the pier. So about 14 grand for this one little section, and then the rest of it's going to cost about 14,000 also. So it's an expensive proposition. This is 12 yards of concrete. Awesome. See you guys next time.
Well, come on down to the Stoney Ridge, bring your wife.